peace to our mind. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Can you slowly open your eyes? So last year, in the summertime, I was invited to Chima Mission Chicago to help them conduct their Balvihar camp. And I was assigned the high school grades, so from 9th to 12th. And I asked them a question one of the days, and I said, what are some of the contradictions that you see in the world around you, or even in your own home? And so I'm going to read to you what they said. They said, one of them said, America has the largest debt, but it's considered to be the strongest economy. Then another one said, there's now a healthy menu at McDonald's. Another one said, we take medicine, but there are so many side effects. Then another one said, we miss our family in India, but we hardly ever visit them. Another one said, my dad dislikes his current job, but he never searches for a new one. And then another one said, we try to live a positive life with a negative attitude. And another one said, my mom returns half the things that she buys. And another one said, my family becomes very stressed out when we go on vacation. And someone said, my mom worries about things that she can't control. And then I said, you know what the biggest contradiction of all is that we look for permanent happiness in an impermanent world. And even though each and every one of you come every Sunday to listen to Swamiji say the exact same thing that I just said, somehow we're not able to make that a reality in our life, to change that contradiction, to start looking for permanent happiness in something that's actually permanent. And so as I was reading Gurudev's New Year's message in the newsletter that we get every week, I started to ponder on the same question. Where is it that these contradictions in our own life originate? And the only answer that I could come up with is that it's at the mind level, at the thought level. So I'm sure all of us sitting here have thoughts that are scattered, always moving in different directions, thoughts of things that we don't want to think about, things that we don't like, and even thoughts that sometimes make no sense to us at all. And we want to change that. Because if we're able to change the direction of our thoughts, the quantity of our thoughts, and the quality of our thoughts, then we'll be able to change our world. Gurudev says, you change and your world changes. And so he's given 3 methods of how to change the texture of our mind. The first is focused on the quality of thoughts. And Gurudev says that the quality of thoughts can be influenced by Bhakti Yoga. So, what is it that we mean when we talk about Bhakti Yoga? If you start your day with prayer, then you start your day with divinity. So, seeing every action as an offering to the Lord is much easier. And if we continue to remember the Lord as the day goes on, in each and every small thing that we do, whether it's something of a worldly nature or something of a spiritual nature, we'll be able to change the quality of our thoughts just by having the Lord's name running in our mind, like Ishtajapa. And then the second is the quantity of thoughts. So many thoughts, like a freight train, they're running and running and running. And most of them are focused on the anxieties of the future and the worries of the past. So Gurudev prescribes Karma Yoga. And what does Karma Yoga mean at a practical level? Yes, we know that Karma Yoga is not being attached to the fruit of the action, but at a more practical level, it means that we should live in the present moment. Because it's only when we're living in the present moment that we're actually focusing on performing the action and not focusing on the future, the result, or the past of what could go wrong to impact that potential result. Many of you had given resolutions related to time management and procrastination and different things like that. And all of those can be solved with this practice of living in the present moment. Because you're wasting time when you're worrying about the future and when you're worrying about the past. But you're fully focused and taking advantage of each moment when you're living in the present. And naturally, the number of thoughts will also reduce. When you're focused on something that you enjoy, something that's fully captivating all of your energy and focus, you notice that you're not really thinking of many things and your mind is calm and peaceful. This is because the quantity of thoughts is limited. And then of course, one of the most important is the direction of our thoughts. And Gurudev prescribes Jnana Yoga. So that means that we should contemplate on the scriptures every day. Because where do the scriptures take us? Do they take us outside into the outside world? No. They tell us to turn our mind inward, to focus on that permanent happiness that's in the ice cream or in the shopping mall. It's within you. So this year, I want everyone to take the pledge of not only knowing that permanent happiness will be found only in yourself and not in the impermanent world, but also to actually start living that, and to start believing in that fact, and start having more faith in that fact. Once our faith increases, we'll be able to see the change that these thoughts will have on our life. And finally, a message to kind of round about what we've said. Pray, live in the present, and look inward. Let's remember these three things. Pray, live in the present, and good. So at least I know that you were paying attention. And seek that permanent happiness in the impermanent world? No, in the permanent self. Hari Om.